This is where I get to start having some fun. It's time to decorate. These are still planks from some of the palettes, and I had a couple different size palettes, and I need to make an arrow, I need to make a bone, and I need to make some fish. Now it's pretty nice outside today, so that is going to work in my favor, because I'll be able to do the sawing outside. On the base here, which is basically Coco's front yard, it's going to be sand. And I'm going to have like a little plank, wood plank walk, and then I'll have sand and stuff around it for the yard. And I'll have something I'm going to try to do to kind of give it a little dimension, a little bit of fun. The first thing I want to do is draw the bone, and I'm going to draw a template. Alright, so we want a bone, and a bone is basically just 2 lines and then really just 2 circles on either side. So that's kind of a bone. Now let's see, did I trim it enough? I did actually, to be able to get it onto one of the other boards. And I'm going to use my jigsaw to cut this out. Alright, I'm going to take it over to an end, and then I'm going to just draw around it, trace around this, so I have a line to follow with my jigsaw. Then I'll take it outside, cut it, and then I will come back in. Here it is. I'm going to do a little rough sanding on the edges just to smooth it a little bit, maybe give it a little curve, and anywhere there's a pen mark I'm going to have to do a little bit of sanding there too. Then I'm going to do a little whitewash. I did the same with the fish, so I'm going to cut that out too. It's time to put everything together, and here is the front piece, and my husband screwed this on for me. We went from the back so that it's nice and sturdy on there. Now we're gonna screw everything in place, and then I'll touch up the screw heads with the color. We're gonna do this on the front, the back. We'll screw on the fish, and then I will do the sand. I'm in the home stretch. I'm finishing the doghouse. I'm not gonna show you what the rest of it looks like. I'm just gonna kind of go over what I have to do now, and that is the sand part. These have been screwed on, so they're not going anywhere. I touched up everywhere there were screws with some paint. I have seashells, which were recycled from an old box. I'm going to do the sand now, and I'm using play sand from the hardware store, and it's like a washed and bleached sand. I'm going to use shells. I've got some starfish, and I'm going to do some fun stuff with it. I'm going to use Envirotex Light. I don't know how much I'll need, but I'm going to mix it with the sand as I did in that one coaster, and I'm going to make it really thick so I can kind of mold it and stuff like that. I lined the floor with parchment paper, and because I'm going to have it really thick, it should not be a problem with anything running underneath or off, so we should be okay. But I'm going to mix some resin, and then I will come back and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I've mixed the resin, and now I'm going to take the sand, and I've taken a smaller little container of sand just because it's easier to work with, and I have a big thing of inexpensive glitter. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to start to mix some of my resin in with the sand. Now what happens is the sand will get dark, just like it is if it's wet sand at the beach. It's darker than like the nice white fluffy sand, and I want the white fluffy sand, so I'm going to add some of that white glitter to it. And it seems to do the trick. Fine glitter is probably better, but I thought I would go with the chunkier. It's a lot less expensive based on the amount of sand that I'm going to be working with. So I'm going to put this in a container, and this container is just a disposable container from like a TV dinner kind of a thing. So I just, whenever we have anything like that, I'll save it, run it through the dishwasher, and then it ends up in the craft room so I can use it. So I'm just going to keep adding a bunch until I get the consistency that I want. I'm going to add a little glitter. But if you wanted to do something simpler, you could do maybe indoor-outdoor carpeting so it looks like a green lawn. You know, there's lots of different things you can do. This was just something that I wanted to try. Now I'm going to keep adding sand until I don't see it pooling on the edges anymore, because the resin will continue to pool on the edge if you don't have enough sand in there. So just keep working it and keep working it and make sure that the sand is all covered with the resin. Otherwise you're going to have like soft pockets, pockets that break off. You got to work it a little bit. And that glitter gives it a little bit of shimmer, but it keeps it from being so dark. So color-wise, it's still pretty close. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to take this and start putting it down on the plywood. And I'm going to go right up to the doghouse, and I'm going to go right down the side and kind of build it up, because you don't want to see that edge, that exposed edge. And this is why you want it to be nice and thick. So it will kind of keep a little bit of shape, and you can go as free form as you want with it. But now is the time that you're going to, you know, kind of build it up around the steps, between the steps. And you're going to start to insert certain things into it, like seashells, sea glass, anything that you can find that maybe you've collected over the years, or go find something. If you don't have anything, go find something to put in there that's related. You do a fishing lure. I have a fishing lure that I was going to put in, a fake pearl. Anything that is ocean related, beach related, anything like that is perfect to add. Okay, now I've hit a spot where I want to add the palm tree. I took my glove off only because I didn't want to get resin and sand on the palm tree. So I'm only going to touch the resin and stuff with my left hand. And then I'm going to take, I have a piece of coral, and I'm going to put some other stuff around here. I have some bigger shells. And this will help the palm tree stand while everything sets. So I've got those around there. I can add another one in the back if I want. Anything you want, just stick it right in that sandy resin, and when it sets, it will all be nice and stable. So I'm going to keep going. Fill up the rest. I have the beach sign that I have to add over on the other side. That's this one. And I found a couple of flamingo buttons. I washed this. I did a light wash in purple. I stenciled to the beach in yellow. Stenciled a couple little paws on there. And then I found the flamingo buttons, cut off the back, glued them on there. I really wanted flamingos for the yard. I could not find any. So this at least incorporates the flamingos a little bit. So as soon as I get a little more sand in there, I'm going to place that in here, kind of wedge it in there so it's kind of pointing to where the beach is. Alright you guys, I'm almost done, and what I'm doing over here, oops, I'm over here, is I created a dip here. And I'm kind of trying to create a tide pool. So that's just going to be a little area that has collected with some water. And I'm going to have some stuff in there. And it can be kind of, you know, it doesn't have to be perfectly round or anything. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of the white glitter underneath there. I have some dark blue glitter, and then I have these flakes, these blue flakes, that I'm going to put in there also. So that's just to help create the look of water. I'm going to tap that all down. Alright, then I'm going to take a starfish. I'm I'm going to put that down. Some small shells. Put it in there too, like they washed into there. And then I got a starfish for over here. And I'm going to just add additional shells in various different places. I have a fish hook, which I'm going to put down in the tide pool too, like I collected in the tide pool with the other stuff. And I'm pressing this stuff down into it in hopes that then it will stick, and when I come back and fill it with the clear resin or the lightly tinted blue resin, that the stuff won't float up. Now I have an old key, which I'm going to actually hide right behind her sign. So it looks like that's where she hides her key. So all I'm going to do, guys, is just finish with texturing the sand a little bit with my fingers. I'm going to sprinkle a little more just regular sand over it and some of the white glitter. Finish it up, and then when that is set, I will add that final bit into it. Hey guys, you just caught me doing a little final interior decorating. Let me show you what I got. So I was thinking things were looking a little plain in there. And I have a rug. This is indoor-outdoor carpet. It was some leftovers that we had. I cut it to size. Fits in there nicely. And now she will have a nice place to lay down. And if it gets dirty, it can be washed and put back in. I was originally going to do a cushion. But then I thought, if it is outside or if she's dirty, you know, the cushion's a lot harder to take care of. Alright, if you can see back here, there's a wall that's just plain white, and I thought that needed a little sprucing up. I'm going to put this little fish that I made a long time ago, mount it there, and then I have two final things. She needs pictures on the wall, right? I mean, it's got to be homey. I'm going to hang Scooby-Doo, because she's got a big old crush on Scooby-Doo. I know this stuff. And then what else would she need in there other than a picture of her favorite aunt? So we got a picture of Aunt Mona going up in there, and I do have it reversible where if she wants palm trees, you know, if she gets tired of looking at me, she can put palm trees up. Dogs like trees. This is her beach house, so palm trees seem just right. So how am I going to mount these? Well, I don't know if she's like a chewer of stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is something a little more temporary. I'm using this, it's called Simply Tacky, and it's secure, remove, or use, and it's kind of like this gummy stuff. I got it at the craft store. And you put it on there, it sticks on there, it doesn't hurt the walls, and then you pull it off when you want to move it. So in the event that her mom and dad find out that she does not like the stuff on the wall that I put on there, or maybe it's better not to have it on there, they can just pull it off. It won't damage the walls. I don't have to come and repaint. Everyone's a winner. I'm going to take you inside for a tour. There's a picture of that hunk Scooby-Doo that she likes so much. And then we have the fish, because it looks very tropical. And then we have the picture of her favorite aunt. Yay! And then we got the rug. And the little footprints on each side. And then I did also stencil a little heart over here that unless somebody kind of crawls in there, they'll never know it's there. I have mixed the Envirotex Light, just like I did the sand, which, by the way, did I mention it's rock hard? I put a little bit of India ink in there, a drop or two. Okay, now I'm going to just pour this in. I don't know if I have enough, but I definitely want everything covered. So no, I think I'll need just a little bit more. So I'll do that, fill it up. I will run the lighter over it, just like I always do, and that'll help pop the bubbles, and then we'll be good to go.